It has been a little while since I've dropped a game that I wanted to like this quickly. Because, like, there are games I don't talk about because I play like 10 minutes of it. I'm like, this is not for me. But this one, I gave it the old college try and it didn't click. And I kind of want to talk about why. Cursed to Golf. So, this is a 2D roguelike golf game. So like the premise is that you were a professional golfer. You died, if I remember correctly, like you got struck by lightning on the course, and now you are in a hell for all intents and purposes, and you are cursed to golf. And so you have so many strokes of the get your head out of the gutter. So many strokes, so many whacks with the stick on a golf ball to try and get through these courses, which contain all kinds of things. They contain, the standard hazards, water hazards, um, sand pits, but they also have, gravestones with hands that will just come up and snatch your ball, and you don't even get to hit it from where it landed. You just have to go back to where you were before. Spike pits, dynamite, wind tunnels, all kinds of stuff. And as a way to try and assist you in getting through all this, you have what are called ace cards that will give you a one-time boost of some kind. Maybe it'll add a couple more strokes that you are allowed to take to get through this course, through this hole. And some are things like, detonate this dynamite that's in the way, because otherwise, like, you're going to lose one stroke by having to set the dynamite off by hitting it with the ball, but then the ball won't go through it. It'll bounce off it, it'll detonate, and then you have to go through, so that takes more time. And so there are ace cards like that to try and help you and give you the advantage that you need to be able to move forward. And it never fully clicked for me. Now, I've enjoyed a fair few roguelikes. Although I suppose, to be more accurate, the ones that really get me are roguelites, because my preferred roguelike games are the ones where there is something that is a permanent rollover, be it a certain boost or benefit, or like your character's kind of leveling up run to run, or at the very least you are unlocking new stuff as you go. If either of those is the case in Curse to Golf, then it happens after the point at which I gave up. And I tried with this. I made a commitment, even when I realized, like, I'm not going to be able to stick with this for very long. I made the commitment. I just want to see what the first boss is like. I just want to see what a boss in a golf game looks like at all. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't get past the third hole for the life of me. And it didn't have that feeling that I like to get from roguelikes or roguelites, which is that, okay, I didn't make it yet, or even I got my butt handed to me, but I know what went wrong. I know how to prepare. Yeah, and maybe the RNG will be nicer to me next time. But also, like, I feel like with the right tools, I could do this. I never really felt like that in this. I felt like it would take I would have to basically randomly get a course layout, because those are procedurally generated. I would have to randomly get a course layout that's just easier. And that actually happened at least once, because, like, I have an achievement on this game that, like, that's like only 12% of players of the game have, which is to finish a hole in 4 strokes. And that didn't happen because I was good. That happened because I randomly got an easy course just once. So the way the course layouts are, and just the wild swings, and the fact that it is almost always landing on the much more difficult side, and even if you get an easy one, the next one will not be. I didn't feel like this was something that I could get good at. I mean, I probably could, and maybe, like, I just also wasn't connecting with the core golf gameplay enough. Maybe there's more nuance to it than I was treating it. Maybe I should have been making much more liberal use of the ace cards than I was, but it felt like even the runs where I was like, okay, I'm going to burn through these things. If they help, I will use it. I was still couldn't get past the third hole. So I tried approaching it a few different ways, and it just wasn't fun. Because it wasn't that, because the roguelikes that I enjoy, or the roguelites, are things like Slay the Spire, Monster Train, Rogue Legacy, Hades 2, and things where, like, okay, I'm not good enough to get past that yet, but I bet I could be. I would fall on my face with courses in Curse to Golf and just feel like, how the hell can anybody beat this course? It didn't feel like I could get there. It felt like a brick wall. It didn't feel like a narrow passage that, like, I got to figure out how to navigate. It just felt like a wall. And a wall isn't fun. Not to me. So despite, like, a really charming art style and a fun premise and a neat little spin on incorporating roguelike things, like, it was just too frustrating. And the thing is, oddly enough, this is probably closer to a pure roguelike than most of the stuff that I named that I like. Because like I said, most of that stuff has permanent unlocks as you go. So there I feel like I'm making progress, even if I'm not getting any further in a run, because I still unlock new stuff for me to try and work with. And like, there are things here, there's like the pins that give you an advantage, and some of them are like real good, but it still didn't help me ultimately in the end. And like some of the pins are really badly explained. There's like, give your ball fire, imbue it with fire. And I tried that. I couldn't tell you what that did. There's one to imbue it with ice, one with lightning. I don't know what those things do. It doesn't explain it very well. And then there's other stuff that sounds good, but in practice isn't very good. There's like, have this rocket boost on your first swing. And in a more traditional golf game, maybe that would work because, like, boy, that first shot's going to go so far. But the thing is, these courses are laid out, they're basically in tunnels. So first of all, you are almost certainly going to hit the ceiling, and that's going to dampen how far this thing was ever going to go. But even if you do knock it as far as you can, assisted by this freaking rocket boost, you're just going to end up hitting another wall because you're going to hit a point where you either have to go up and over something or down. So it's still going to end up going a distance that you probably could have gotten, or at least pretty dang close, even without the boost. So like, half the assisting things felt like they didn't help anyway. I am sure that this clicks with some people. I can see how the gameplay could be fun, and I was trying to have fun with it, but ultimately the difficulty level on this one, and feeling like I don't think I'm getting better. I think when I get to the third hole, which was not every time, when I even get to the third hole, I'm just lucking out that the RNG rolled me a doable course. It didn't feel like skill, and it didn't feel rewarding. So this is the first roguelike that I have bailed on in fairly short order. After, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours or so, I'm just like, I can't anymore. That's a shame, because it's good ideas. Other people might like it, depending on your tolerance for extreme difficulty spikes, or just the whole game being a difficulty wall. But whatever your thoughts are, if you've played this, what your preferred style of roguelike is, whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills and enables me to do this as my living, even if you can't help me out that way. Like, share, subscribe. They all help me out. Don't worry too much about it, though. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can just come on back next time you need a break. And now to thank my highest supporting patrons: Robin Moore, Goddess Elida, Zubin Lotfula, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Alistair McPherson, Oliver B., Melissa Pedersen, Movie Turtle, Ulrich Bogdan, Loki Eris, Melinda Walters, Auntie Kate 808, Becky Sparks, Fernabi Likes the Poodle, Tracy Scrabbit, Angry Casperl, Dave Hall, White Bearish, Rosalind Bennett, Adam R.D.L. Taylor, Pal Barabajoggle, Mira G, and Sir Didymus is my favorite. If you'd like me to... I read the names fine, then screwed it up. If you would like to hear me try and say your name while these guys chitter in my ears, check out the rewards on my Patreon. Yeah, you're not distracting at all.